Hello and welcome again at Stocks Advisor channel. Here at our channel we are looking for interesting buy opportunities for US-based stocks. Today we'll talk about DraftKings Incorporated, traded at Nasdaq, ticker name DKNG. Well, DraftKings of course today is showing a white candle. It's intraday still, so might be showing some shadows as well here. But for the moment it's a white candle with 7+% growth and being traded at the moment 54.08. We see some small shadow on downward sides that was actually repulsing from moving average 20, this green line here, and at the top we don't see any shadows yet. So the question is, of course, what's next? Can we grow further, and why is this happening? And to answer this question, the immediate answer would be it's a combination of both. Actually, it's a technicality, but also the news. Now we will discuss both and we will see how we can trade here, what we can expect. But before we start, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you are first time viewing this video, and also please press the bell button. This way you will not miss our new videos and new discussions for US-based stocks. And as always, at our daily chart, we have here three moving averages depicted. These are moving average 20, 50, and 200, being green, blue, and red line correspondingly. Here on the left, you see their legends. So to the analysis now of DKNG. First of all, the news. News of today for a company which is about 21 billion market capacity. It's not that huge news, but still it's a positive news, and of course it did work also today in today's price action. And the news is that the DraftKings is engaging in income payments to launch industry first retail gift cards for the holidays time, and this of course together with the technical situation is creating this very bullish, very positive expectations. Of course, the price went up. And speaking of technicality, why technically we would expect price to grow today here, it's simply the fact that moving average 20 here last 6-7 trading sessions worked as a very strong support line. You can see that we were unable to pierce it downwards. And actually what was happening that the price was always just repulsing from moving average 20 here, this line, and it was dragging the price up. And this is usually, these kind of behaviors are resolving in the jump of the price in the white candles, the high white candles, and that's exactly what we see today. So it's a very nice example of classical dragging upwards the price with the moving average, which usually resolves with a big jump, and then also as in news. And the news might be not that, well, it's a great news, but it's not that great that it could create such a move, but it's a very good and very great to trigger this technical behavior, and of course it did its work. Also, you can see that the volume traded today is not that huge in comparison with standard variations of the volume. So this indeed means that the news mostly worked as a trigger, but mainly the price action is due to technical. And you see currently we are just trading at the nearest resist level, which is actually about 54, and you can see we're sitting on it at the moment. And of course then the next question would be where we're going next. Can we pierce it further? If yes, what will happen? And of course you can see that this momentarily resist line, but if it will be pierced tomorrow, it will immediately become a support line. So for the moment, let's call it R1. We will see how it will work. And here we really need to understand two things. First of all, a general situation, general tendency for the stock. We can see that it was traded with big volatility for the last half year in these big channels, and you can see there is, let's say, ascending kind of lower part of the channel, let's call it R2, going high. So from the levels of 30s now it's rising to the 37.50, and last time we started from it at November, so then we went all the way upwards. And of course there is a parallel moving similar kind of a channel. You can see with a very clear piercing upwards during from mid of September till mid of or beginning of mid of October. Actually we see this part, let's call it R2, and it's clearly seen that we were actually going from up to down within this channel, having the top of it in mid of June, then mid of July on the bottom, then volatiling, and again we pierced it indeed here, but then returned inside and we had Again, we repelled from it with this double resist line here at R1, R2 cross section, and now we're again sitting at R1. So what can we expect? First of all, it's not much growth we can expect technically, although it can pierce again higher and show something similar to what we saw in the mid of September with this price action, sending the price a little bit overbought, because you see that RSI wise we tried to go overbought, but do not forget that when we were last time at the top of R2, we did it 2 times the same name, so let's call it R3 then. R2, R3 channel, we were almost overbought area, but then did decline. Now we're rising. A second attempt might be piercing further, a little bit going overbought, but then we could go for another correction, because this is a double resist here with some opening inside. So we could still play inside. Maybe the shadow of tomorrow will be higher, but the body will be down. So most probably it will be something like a doji or a shooting star or evening star. Both are possible kind of candle combination. But overall, if you look the general behavior, it could be piercing, but then we should go for correction. And the reason for that is then if you look at moving averages. So first of all, the channel R2, R3 is logical with respect to moving average 200, because moving average 200, this red line, is going very well upwards, almost straight. So it of course shows that overall the company price is going high. But moving average 20 and 50 that are going around each other and showing sequentially, let's say, periods of magic cross ups and downs when they cross each other, is still in deceleration mode at the moment, because you see moving average 20, the green line, it's going actually like this. So let's draw it green. It's going like this, meaning it's still pointing up, but it is bending downwards. So it could be still momentarily bullish tomorrow as well, but overall looks like that we will have a correction further, because we will return back to the channel R2, R3, maybe after some piercing. Piercing could be some reasonable, of course, because we saw similar in the beginning of mid of September here, mid of October, but there are resist levels, and R1 is one resist level. Of course, there is another resist level here sitting at 60. So still it could be the area of volatility, but you can't really say it will be, from technical point of view, R4 level. We will pierce it. So in that sense, also because moving averages are bending, it's more expected to have it bended further, and only when a moving average 50 will also catch up with it and we will have another delayed magic cross down, then the price could go higher, and that's what we can see. A similar situation we saw, for example, at the beginning of November, when moving average 20 hit from the top moving average 50. So it's magic cross down, but it's delayed magic cross because price already did go down. So it usually works either as momentarily bullish or delaying the decline, and indeed it worked as momentarily bullish and returned, and the price actually went high. And we could have similar situation here, so the price could start going down, causing magic cross down happening, and this will work actually then as a momentarily bullish effect. So with this having said, what can we say? It wouldn't be advised to sit here for the wave up. You can still try, maybe in hope that we will pierce tomorrow, but most probably it would be advised just to play, let's say, with the corrections. And with this having said, let's draw the levels of supports to understand how we can do it here. So first of all, this is the current price action, which is just very close to moving average 20 here. This is one level of support, let's call it S1, and then we can see here other levels. Let's draw them first really quickly. So this would be another one, then another one will be a little bit here, just below 42.50, and then it's actually another support volatility line, which will be that time also a little bit lower than R2 channel. So let's call it then, this would be S2, S3, and this would be S4. So how we can play here? And there's first another volatility level. Let's draw it as well. It's here in this vicinity, and we can call it V1. So what would be the advice to play on this one? We can already enter anything immediately at S2 below moving average 20 till V1 as a first entry when the correction will start here. And when we will start returning to the middle of the channel R3, R2, and then waiting if the price repulses, then it could be going high. Or if it continues falling down, you can actually do the secondary enter here between S2, S3, which would be just below the middle of the trading channel R3, R2. And then if the channel will be pierced, like for example, we saw momentarily pierce at 14th of July here, then you can enter anything below R2 and actually by S4, and by that time also moving average 200, this red line will catch up. Actually here it will be a triple support in this area. So here it would be advised to buy with 1-2-2 strategy, meaning that the funds you would like to play here you can split in 5, then you buy with 1 portion. You can average down with 2 portions, and again average down with 2 portions according to the entry levels discussed here in the dark circles. This way it will be the best optimization, profit versus loss, and with the best play you can do for DraftKings, DKNG. You can still try to play tomorrow on the volatility towards R4 level here, but overall, yeah, it's a bit risky because you never know how it can behave. We could already finish today with some higher upward shadow, meaning that the correction will start immediately. So we still need to see it, still half an hour to play, to trade. We will see how it will go. So overall, very nice stock because it shows very good volatility on a reasonable period of time, over half a year. So you can play it quite safely if you do the just classical technical analysis and some average down on supports approach. Very good stock to play in that sense. So we'll be watching closely DKNG. Also, good luck with it. And again, if you're first time at our channel, please don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button. This way you will not miss our new videos and new interesting discussions for US buy stocks. With this, good luck with DKNG, and see you at another episode of Stocks Advisor channel.